Mahila Congress head Sushmita Dev quitting the Congress and Kapil Dev's dramatic dire warnings of Congress walking ahead with its eyes wide shut are two sides of the same coin. In the Hindi language, one could argue two sides of the same kota sikka. But the current disheveled state of the Congress party is no laughing matter. It still happens to be the main opposition party in the country. And to that extent, the vitality and overall health of our democracy does in part depend on how robust the Congress really is. But from whichever side you look at the party, it looks more like a meteor hurtling down to earth at unimaginable speed, bits and parts of it flaming out before the inevitable crash. Hi, and welcome all to the CAA show. My name is Juggi Bhasin. CAA is, of course, conversations and analysis. The real reason why younger leaders are leaving the Congress party is because they've all figured out that the movers and shakers of the party are people with no ambition. The leaders of the party operate in a limited sphere, make enough noise to raise eyebrows, but have no desire or strength or stamina to carry the fight till the last mile. If the top brass lacks ambition, how can they plot the ambition graph of others, especially the younger lot? This might sound like a contradiction in terms, considering the recent high decibel program of defiance and disruption launched by Rahul Gandhi in Parliament. On the face of it, it would appear that this is a party on the move, determined to corner the government. But look closer, and perhaps one will be able to see the real picture. After a lot of histrionics and unruly interventions by Congress stormtroopers in Parliament this session, the Gandhi siblings and Mrs. Sonia Gandhi have suddenly gone quiet, and they are out of the picture. What explains this pattern of behavior? Let us try and get a fix on this baffling strategy of one move ahead and two moves back. I think it all started in 2004 when Mrs. Sonia Gandhi had a real chance of becoming the Prime Minister of the country. But to everyone's shock, she chose a talented but nevertheless compliant bureaucrat called Dr. Manmohan Singh to lead the new government. Why did she do it? To understand that, one has to understand the place where Mrs. Gandhi comes from. Mrs. Gandhi grew up in what was then socialist Europe. When she married Rajiv Gandhi and lived alongside Mrs. Indira Gandhi in the same house, there was more of that same socialist rhetoric in Mrs. Indira Gandhi's outreach. In fact, socialism was the flavor of the day. Sonia Gandhi first watched her mother-in-law take center stage, which was followed later by her tragic assassination. She watched history repeat itself when it came to Rajiv Gandhi. When she finally got a chance to occupy center stage in 2004, she strategically opted out. She had seen what being in the limelight had done to her mother-in-law and her husband. But it did not certainly mean that she did not like the prerequisites of power and all its trappings. She made an arrangement which would enable her to realize all her ambitions without exposing herself to unnecessary public glare and scrutiny and accountability. She made Dr. Manmohan Singh the face of the government and operated the levers of power backstage, as it were. She realized her socialist dreams by operating the National Advisory Council, NAC, which was riddled with men and women of extreme socialist disposition. These worthies interfered in government decision-making, and this was the single biggest factor for the mess that UPA2 became. Now, unlike popular belief that Rahul Gandhi has a different bent of mind when compared to his mother, I believe that he is also a chip of the old block. He likes the power bit, but without any responsibility. And so does Priyanka Gandhi. I would go as far as to argue that all three of them have the least bit of interest in assuming positions of power, even that of the prime ministership. Both Mrs. Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi have had ample opportunities to become prime minister. They deliberately chose to keep away. What the Gandhis really want is to lead their private lives whichever way they deem fit. They're happy to assume only so much power, which enables them to lead entitled lives. That is the sum total of their ambitions. Now, to come back to the youngsters in the Congress party, they have seen that over the last 10 years, the Gandhis have lost the fire in the belly to walk the talk and to be in politics 24/7, 365 days in the year. That is why they are leaving in droves. They know this meteor will burn out soon or crash eventually. The BJP also knows this, and that is why Rahul Gandhi is their unacknowledged best friend. Now, let us shed some light on the motivations of the elders in the party. Congressmen like Kapil Sibal, who want to revive the party. Sibal and the group of 23 have floated the idea that in 2024, single opposition candidates would be put up in 400 constituencies against the BJP. So, is a group of 23 the answer to all those who are praying for the Congress party's revival? Forget it. This Lord just doesn't have the capability or the stamina to go through the ringer. Just to buttress the point, has Mr. Kapil Sibal or Mr. Ghulam Nabi Azad ever won a decent election in their lives? The group of 23 is active and wants its voice to be heard because it shapes under the sound and fury of Rahul Gandhi's high decibel campaigns, which ultimately amounts to nothing. They know it sullies the image of the party even more and makes everyone look non-serious. The group of 23 is essentially looking to bringing back middle-age sobriety and what in Hindi is called Thairao in the Congress party. Many of them have reputations to maintain. Winning elections is not really the main criteria for them. So, different strokes for different people in the Congress party. But there is not even one person who has made up his or her mind to lead the party to victory in the coming elections and provide a real alternative to the BJP. So, on that note, we come to the end of this episode. I hope you really enjoyed this episode. We would like lots and lots more of you to subscribe to our new channel and keep watching this channel. Do subscribe to us more and more. And till the next episode, it's goodbye from me and cheers and have a great night, everyone.